Hey, it's Tyler Millar, aka the Knit Mechanic. I have not done any videos of knitting, considering I'm called the Knit Mechanic. I've done some on gardens, on our garden, and a lot on automotive stuff. But this will be the first one for knitting. Yep. That's my oldest daughter, Penelope. This is my second daughter, Heidi. We've got 4 boys ahead of them, and then another daughter below, and then a 8th one on the way. And I guess we could start with what I'm working on now and just see what I'm doing. I've got a I've got a doll I'm making right here. Matter of fact, let's do this. Should have done this first, but that's all right. We'll get through it. I put this so I don't have to count the stitches for the middle. I'll just pull these through, and then you can see it. All right. Obviously, these are for the arms, the armholes, right there. And that's it. This little guy. I just did some raglan increases, just like a normal raglan shirt for it. I am using, let's see if I can find it. It's by Dream in Color. I think is their name, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's see here. This, is it that one? Yeah, okay. It's Dream in Color, Dream. And then it's Serenity 925. Where are we at? Oh, we're doing this all backwards. And it's a worsted weight yarn. I am using 375s or US 6. Sorry, still don't remember all the sizes. They say US 7, but I want it to make it smaller because I'm putting beads in it other than some stuffing. I made one before. I think I did it off a pattern. This one I'm going because I couldn't. Well, I'll show you in a second. The other one that I did, I couldn't remember if it was a pattern, but now that I start, continue to do this, I think this was a pattern. I forget. Once I find it, I'll show you guys. I forget who it was by, but it was. I changed it up, obviously, a little bit. It was a 3-in-1. I think it was a bear, a bunny.
I think it was a bear.
Yeah, it was a bear or a bunny.
Oh wow.
I can't remember what third guy was. I really don't. Maybe it was just 2, or it was just a different style of a bear or something or another. So I didn't do the airs.
The honey bear.
Honey bear. I don't know. But this is actually Dream yarn. I forget the colorway, but when I find that, I'll show you. And it actually, hold on. I know we're shaking because I'm hitting the table. But where the speckles of color are, it actually had 2 eyes and a mouth, and I guess you can say that's like a nose or whatever, but I never really considered that anything. But the 2 eyes and the mouth, I didn't really realize that till after I was done, and I was debating on putting eyeballs on it, but I didn't. I don't mind them; they're fine on some, but I like the way this looks. And then I don't know if it was one of my boys noticed it first or if I did, but then we saw that, so that would be my front. Thought it was really, really cool. This was honestly the first thing I did connecting arms. or even legs in this case. And yeah, you see that bead, that center section isn't very well, but oh, there it goes again. You can see how I did that so tight. And same thing here, right there. This side wasn't as bad, but you can still see it. So I'm hoping to do better on this. I did a little sweater. It was supposed to be for a baby, but I didn't like the way it turned out very much, so I gave it to this one for her baby doll, which actually I was using the baby doll to try it on with. But yeah, this one. So I've wrote down the pattern in my little knitting notebook right there. All right. Oh no, you can't see it. Yep, there you go. So still going. Yes, ma'am.
Red spot.
Red spot. Yeah, that's saying that we're recording. Yep. But so from this point, I'm going to do about 4 more rows, and then separate for the legs. Do the legs, and then I'll do the arms. Before, obviously, I close it off for the second leg, I will put some beads in at the bottom. My intentions were to make it bottom heavy, so it would like just sit there with the beads in it. Of course, this one's sitting pretty good right now. And then have the head kind of floppy.
I think there's one sit.
The other one does not sit. Not very well. Yeah.
He's just
but
floppy.
he lays right there.
He's floppy.
It's cool. Happy little guy. And then, where are we at? Let's get the baby doll. Let's look at the sweater. Now this is a bulky weight yarn that, oh, you're sitting on the, yeah, I'll take it off and explain it in a minute. But that's what this is. This is what I made. It was going to be for a friend of mine's baby. They just had a baby. But like I said, I didn't like the way it turned out. It's a little big, which would have been fine because it would be, probably would have fit into it by winter time and been cool. Same thing with the hat right here. It's a little big. A little too small for Heidi. It stretches a lot. But, I mean, it fits at least for her a little bit. It's not as tall because obviously I was trying to make it for a baby. Just didn't get the proportion correct. But this yarn is actually some yarn that I dyed because I do hand dye a lot of my yarn. Well, let me rephrase that. I have hand dyed a lot of yarn. My intentions were to use some of it and then sell some of it. I've sold a few to a customer of mine through, we have an automotive business that we own, my parents owned, and I work there. And I have a nice customer. Matter of fact, she's the one that gave me these moleskin notebooks and a few other things. Yeah, she saw my yarn one day. I brought it for some reason. I don't remember what I brought it to the shop for. I think I was showing my parents, you know, how much I did and what I did.
You sold one to at the Young Craft.
Yes, at the craft fair we sold one. It was okay. I mean, it was fun. Other than that, you know, I got to showcase the yarn. My wife crochets, so she had a lot of animals and hats and blankets and stuff out there. But yeah, so the customer lady, she came by and saw it there and said, "Whoa!" She loved it. You know, I forget what. I think she bought some lace weight. It was like a brick type color. Yes, Penny wants me to show you. This is her knitting bag because I'm teaching her to knit, and she's done. She's just going back and forth, you know, learning the knit stitch, doing it, you know, stockinette. No, garter. I don't remember. I know what I'm doing. Okay. I just don't remember the name. It's garter stitch since it's back and forth as knit working in the back. Yeah, so it's not stockinette stitch. This would be stockinette stitch. See, I'll remember somewhat.
Okay, I did mess up yesterday.
Yep, you did? That's alright. We can fix that. But she's starting to get the hang of it. With me working and then us having 7 kids and all that stuff, we don't get to it all the time, helping her out because we homeschool, so they've got to do that, and then obviously they play and have fun. And then by the time I get home, you know, we got to eat dinner and do a few other things, and then I want to knit a little bit, and then, you know, by that time it's almost bedtime anyways. So we try to get some knitting in for her, and now she wants to start to learn. But with this one, yeah, this was a fuchsia color that I did for them. I dyed 5 skeins of bulky, 106 yards. 106 yards I think is what it was. And I was originally wanting to make a blanket, and I started it in the round, but it was just so large. Before I got through with just the bottom border, I already used a skein of yarn, and I was on my second, right there, probably about a row after the border. So I started a second skein, and I got busy honestly with some other stuff, and then I'm just got halfway discouraged because I'm like, this is gonna take a lot of yarn. I was hoping to get it done before they had their baby. It didn't work out. So then I decided to go ahead and do a little sweater, and a hat. I started with the hat, did the hat, and I'm like, you know, sweater would be cool. But what I did, I squished this bulky yarn onto, where's that? I forget exactly what I started at. The 5. No, I meant the size of the needles. The ribbing was 5 millimeter, and then the main body was 5 millimeter, or 5.5 millimeter for the main body. So all the ribbing was 5 millimeter. My cast on, because I tend to do it pretty tight.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You want to say it?
Yeah.
You want me to say? Okay. She wanted to let you know that she's making a washcloth. I know this is dragging on, especially for my first video. I'm sorry, but it's all fun. You know, we get to see what everybody does. But since I usually knit fairly tight, I've come a long way since I first started knitting. But I went up to 5.5 just for the cast on, and then did 5 millimeters for the ribbing. And then the first row after the ribbing, I did 5 millimeter just to relax it from the, you know, ribbing, knit purl. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it ended there because I wasn't increasing anymore, and then went for the arms, and then did, you know, 5.5 for the body. But what I don't like about it is it basically, to me, before I did the arms, you know, and when I got ready to separate the arms, it just looked like a poncho. It didn't really look like a sweater, and the proportion is just, to me, crazy. I mean, it works fine for the baby doll, but I wouldn't like it, to be honest with you. But I did a lifted increase just down the shoulder line, literally just down the center of the shoulder line. So, you know, lift it right and lift it left increase, and then, you know, on both sides. But instead of raglan, I was just trying to see how it would look. You know, obviously we know what raglan looks like. It looks like that, basically. You know, you got the increases over here, and then you got the increases over here, and you have the shoulder like, what did you say? You can if you want to. Obviously, I didn't tie in all the ends. You put it on. See, this is the back. You can see. Then we got to put her hat back on. Oh, I was still wearing the hat. Oh, got the ribbon there. Okay. Alright, there. You can put your hat on. See, hold on. See, for a doll, it doesn't look that bad. And maybe on a baby, it wouldn't look too bad. It's just, when I'm not happy with something, just like, probably anybody else, you either redo it or just set it off to the side. I don't know. But I didn't feel like giving it. I mean, it would have been probably perfectly fine. They probably would have been happy with it. And, it might have fit in the next few months or so. I mean, the baby, she is less than a month old. 3 weeks, probably tops. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, maybe a month. Maybe a month. But, that's it for that. Other than that, I'm going to do Kitchener stitch on the bottoms. And to be honest with you, I knew how to do it then when I did it. Because I did a pair of socks, and then that's when I did this guy. And I had it all in my head. But since I haven't done it for a while, I did... I'm going to have to look it back up on YouTube. I forget... I think it's... Suzanne something, I don't remember, on YouTube. And I will try to put a link in the description of what video it was for the Kitchener stitch, but I know there's plenty of videos out there for it. And I'm looking at the camera wrong. I'm looking that way because I'm looking at the screen. I'm sorry. But yeah, last year I started, well, I finished this year, but yeah, started last year. I did, for my 4 boys, I did scarves for them, I did knitted scarves in the round, just knit stitch all the way around. It was fine for the first one, and the second one, the first one I did a Harry Potter theme, Gryffindor, the red, gold, and I think it turned out great. Matter of fact, I will show it to you next time. It's in, I don't need that now. She's trying to feed me. It's in my boys' room. I don't know exactly where it is. And it's probably 8 feet long. It took, 47,000 stitches or whatever. I like adding up the stitches and knowing how much I did every day and or whenever I worked on it. But it was 80 stitches in the round, and it was 40 rows of the red, burgundy, dark red, whatever you want to call it. And then it was a repeat of 7 for the gold, 7 for the burgundy, 7 for the gold. And then you start the 40 back again. And then, is she fine right there? Okay. And then, that took, honestly, I made it for his birthday, which was in May, and I got all the materials from a local yarn shop next town over, the Salty Sheep Yarn Shop in Swansboro, North Carolina. But the boys are wanting to come in, I think. But yeah, I got all the materials for all 4 of their scarves. It took 4 skeins of the red. It's Farmer's Daughter fiber. Awesome. I love that yarn. It feels, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels awesome. 100% wool. Yes, ma'am.
Can you sit back?
You can, apparently, because Heidi is. Go ahead. And the Farmer's Daughter fiber, that was for that one, because that was the burgundy that they had and the gold to match, the Gryffindor colors. The other 3 were Dream, which is when I got that, I saw this and got this color. I love this color and this, to be honest with you. They're just, to me, they're just awesome. No, we made that. Remember? I dyed that. But I made a Hobbit themed scarf, so it's just green with Hobbit letters knit it together, not duplicate stitches on top. I actually knitted the Hobbit, which designing that was part of my problem with his. His was the last one I did.
No, the second.
No, Josiah's was the last one I did, because the way I was doing it, I was trying to figure out a good way to do it in the round, and I thought I started carrying it for the H, and I'm like, that's just gonna use a lot of yarn. So I don't know what the technique's called, but I wrapped and turned, which I guess wrap and turn, and went back and forward, or back and forth, doing the H, and then I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. It just wasn't working out. So what I did was I'll knit the green, get up to my gold, which actually I used the gold from a farmer's daughter with the dream for the green for the H's, or for the letters, sorry. There's, one H in Hobbit, but either way. And then I just snip the ends. I do the first row of the H, next row the O is when I started, to be honest with you. It's probably the latter half of the H is where I started it, but I just snipped the ends and then I tied everything in. And I went ahead and tied in the H, the O, as I was going. By the time I got done with the second B, I think I have it on Instagram, so I had to actually look, because it's been a few months since I did it. But then I let it go. So then I just tied everything in at the end, which I was happy doing it as I was going, because then it didn't look so daunting. But then I'm like, I just want to get done, and I did that. But I mean, either way, it was still daunting. But it worked out. It turned out very, very well. I'll get that out and I'll show you next time. Excuse me, sorry. I'll be done in a minute. There, we got one to come in. I guess I should have let them in. That's right. We'll be about done. And then the other two, they just have their colors. I'll show you. My youngest boy, who I actually did second because of the way their birthdays fall. His is basically a red and a black. Well, what? Yeah. It's not completely black. It's probably more like brown. I'd have to look at it again, to be honest with you. And then my third boy, Abram, his is actually the last of the boys' birthday. His is a multicolor themed. Do I have any? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so this is the green. It's actually a little bit darker. It's showing up pretty bright here. This green is awesome. Yeah, this is the fourth one. It's got browns, greens, like a forest, like a fall time forest or something like that. I'm looking at the wrong place. That was not Zeph's. Zeph's is red. It's more red. So, matter of fact, do I have any of that? Yeah. It's going to be hard to tell the difference. Matter of fact, no. These are both Abrams. Yeah, these are both Abrams. It's hard. But either way, yeah, I'll show you guys. Oh, here, no. That might be it, actually. I don't know. I guess I could show you this. At least once.
Cotton candy.
This I dyed also. It's cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Yeah, it's called cotton candy. And it turned out really good. I'll show you the skeins next time, but this video is getting pretty long, especially for a first video. I did make a test video. It's like 2 minutes long. I'll probably post that just to show, I don't know, cool stuff, whatever. Either way. Other than that, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I am by no means an expert, but I will do the best that I can. Like these, in case you're wondering now, this, no, hold on, I was gonna say the increases first, so I got confused. These are just, knit one front back. That's it. Knit a couple, knit the stitches in between, then knit front back, knit front back, and then these are just knit 2 together. I like the way they what's the word I'm looking for? Curve, whatever, as you go down. I guess it's not picking it up. Everything's backwards. Well, you can see it here, like that, but just on the top, going that way. And you know, I made a bunch of hats for the kids, and myself, and my wife, and my parents. Daddy did that, and I like the way it turned out. I made some hacky sacks too. One actually looks like a pumpkin. Hold on 1 second. We're almost done. The way I did the increases, I did them so quick, it flattened out a lot. I think I did them every row, to be honest with you. And then I just did so many in the row. I'll show it to you in the next couple videos or something. But you know, I love the way those turn out. Matter of fact, I need to make one more. I made all the kids except for Willow, our youngest one. I don't know. I don't think she was born when I did that, and she's 2.5 now. So, you know, I've been knitting for a few years, but I don't knit every day. Yes, she's 2 now, but her birthday's in November.
I thought the baby girl come first, Mama said.
Yes, that's in October, or September. But, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, I've been knitting for a few years. You know, my wife tried to get me to do it a long time ago. She crochets, and, you know, she said, why don't you try knitting? And I tried, and I did it so tight. I used, you know, these are Addy Click Turbo Rockets. I love these things. You know, me personally, right now, I won't use anything else. I tried some Chia Chow Goo. You know, they're okay. They're cool. You know, I love the cable on them. I just, the coating I get, for me, it doesn't seem as fast. And it just gets really tight. You know, it might just been the way I was knitting at the time when I did it, or the yarn, you know, I don't know. But when I tried these, I couldn't go back. No, I love these. I started out with, I'll say, a Walmart knitting circular needle. Matter of fact, I still have it up on my shelf. It's probably 10, 11 years old of trying to knit, just acrylic yarn. I love wool now. That's about all I'll use. I call myself a snob, but either way, you do what you want. Yeah, they're fine. You do with what you love. What's up, Zeph? You know, I don't know if he'll come in the screen, but that's my 4th boy right there. Oh, there he is. But I did it so tight. You know, the stitches, I'm like, what is going on? How do I do this? You know, I was just, you know, at that time, we only had, you know, a few children, 2, 3 children when I started it. And, you know, I had a lot more time, but when I did it, I just did it so tight. You know, I got frustrated. And I didn't get crazy angry. It's just like, I can't do this. You know, it wasn't working. So a couple years later, I picked it up, tried it, didn't do it. But then after we bought our house, which this July will be 7 years, first year, second year, I don't remember exactly when. I knit just straight across. I did garter stitch and made this, you know, little washcloth. That's it. I did it super tight. You know, it took me forever. You know, I was slow as anything. But I love it. It's freaking awesome. I don't use it. You know, I should. But I just, you know, I just love it. Yes. Hey, Arnold. Maybe. But then, since that point, you know, I've been trying to knit, you know, as much as I can, learn as much as I can. You know, sometimes I'll go, like last year, before I started the second scarf, I started Zeph's, but it took me literally, I don't know, 3 or 4 months to complete. You know, doing that many stitches, at least, you know, just knitting in the round. It was fun, like I said, but then starting the second scarf, knowing I had to go another, probably with that one, I went about 6.5, 7 feet. It just took me a while. And then with work, and then, you know, being summertime by that time, you know, it was hot. I couldn't sit outside on our swing where I did. Elijah's our oldest, the Harry Potter themed one, and it just. This is Hobbit. I was halfway discouraged. I'm like, you know, I was going to do something else. If I was outside, you know, summertime, I'm cutting grass, you know, playing with the kids, doing something, messing with the garden. Of course, last year's garden didn't work out very well. This year's doing pretty good.
It's huge.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Cool. I don't remember what else I was saying. Either way, you know, it could be for another video. And like I said, you know, if you know, give me criticism. That's fine, because then I know what to do better with the video. You know, it's not going to hurt my feelings. If you hate it, fine. Tell me, whatever. I don't care. It's all right. You know, I'm gonna take that, look at it, see why you don't like it, and either try to do something better or look at it and say, you know, whatever, you just want to be mean. Who cares? It don't matter. You know, in one ear, out the other. You know, constructive criticism is great. You know, I love it. You know, got to learn every day anyways. And, you know, anything to help me, you know, make better content or, you know, learn how to knit better, that'd be cool. Other than that, you know, I appreciate it, guys. And I'm going to sign out now. So, see you later.